Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go, this is Valley News Live at 5.
A developing story out of South Fargo tonight. After just 2 days in the classroom, school officials are confirming several students were sent home today due to a COVID exposure. Valley News Team's Devin Fry joins us live with our top story. Devin.
Stacy, the school year is young, as you mentioned, but we already have our first case in Fargo of students getting sent home due to potential exposure to COVID-19. We're at South High School right now where the incident happened. Now, what we learned from FPS so far is that they learned the students' positive test result and then learned who, as far as students or staff were involved, would have been close to the student. They then sent that group of students and staff home. So they're now working with the Department of Health to reach out to further people who may have been exposed due to contact tracing, and they're trying to figure out exactly who could have been close to the student in order to get more information to them. Now, as far as the number of students that were sent home, what we were told by Fargo Public Schools that it was less than 10 students. So a small group there, but they were sent home early due to that potential COVID-19 exposure. Now, we don't know if any of those students have COVID-19. We'll be looking to get more information as this develops. But for right now, reporting from South High, Devin Fry, Valley News Live.
All right, thank you, Devin. And we'll have much more on this story tonight on Valley News Live at 6. And you can always catch stories as they develop on the VNL News app. Well, experts say with the pandemic comes stress, especially for parents, as positive cases in their children's schools continue to pop up. Valley News Team's Kelly Hubbard shows us which resources can help.
Many parents are feeling the weight of their to-do lists. They're juggling work while trying to get their kids set up for school every day, and it can be a bit stressful.
I think the big thing this year is just grace.
Erin Rushlow, a counselor at Chrysalis in South Fargo, says it's important for mom and dad to give themselves some slack.
What would you say, I guess, is the biggest worry among parents right now?
I think a lot of parents are questioning if they're making the right decision, because this is the first time in a long time, especially with school starting, that you as a parent have a lot of personal decisions to make, and there's a lot of critics about those decisions. But as adults, we also need, after we put our kids to bed, to really work on soothing ourselves at night, creating that time for self-care.
These are tough times. No question about it.
To help with stress, the Cass County Sheriff's Office and Lutheran Social Services have partnered up to help parents and kids navigate through these tough times.
So we really encourage people to, at the first signs of distress, to ask for help, to turn to LSS for help.
Not only is mental health awareness important this month in September, but it's important all year round.
Depression and mental illness is not a weakness. It's called being a human.
There is free counseling available.
I really want to encourage people that there's no shame in reaching out if you're going through a tough time right now.
Tao, Sheriff Johnner, and Rushlow add counseling helps people realize even though so many of us are apart right now, we are struggling together. In Fargo, Callie Hubbard, Valley News Live.
To find all the links and numbers to the services Kelly just mentioned, download our VNL app. A 36-year-old man faces multiple charges after documents say he assaulted his girlfriend. Some of the charges Timothy Smith faces include conspiracy to commit kidnapping and attempted delivery of heroin. It happened Tuesday when officers were called to a home in Minot for a woman who said she was beaten by her boyfriend. The victim told police she was sleeping and woke up to Smith beating her, at one point asking if she wanted him to kill her, until another woman intervened. That gave the victim enough time to escape and call police. Smith will be seen in court again on November 12th. Well, turning to the forecast tonight, your Saturday and Sunday seem to be looking dry, but Nathan tells us some areas could see highs in the 50s on Monday. He joins us now.
Yeah, Stacey, some areas could see highs in the 50s on Monday. We'll get to that coming up a little bit later on. Let's get you out the door this evening and get you back, of course, with any of those Friday evening plans. Things out there right now are definitely quiet. You can see our Home of Economy Skycam in Grand Forks showing a light breeze out there at this point with a few clouds mixed with that clear sky for this evening. There's those winds out of the northwest for pretty much everybody, sustained around 15 to 20 miles per hour, but those gusts, some words, 25 miles per hour. So windiest in areas like Thief River Falls toward the Jamestown and Valley City areas. Sisseton also seeing a bit windier conditions at this hour. Temperatures, look at this, 64 in Badette, 68 in Roseau and Bemidji, 72 for our friends in Grand Forks. We're seeing those warmest air down toward Aberdeen, Watertown, of course, in South Dakota, with those low 80s, 75 right now in Fargo. 72 in Grand Forks, so a fairly comfortable evening, and with clear skies, I expect minimal impacts to your Friday evening. But of course, Stacey, as you said, we're tracking some big changes coming ahead for this Labor Day weekend. It includes that temperature roller coaster and some rain showers, and we'll break that down in detail coming up a little bit later on.
All right, Nathan, thank you so much. Well, a man is in jail after stealing from a South Fargo store, then attempting to run away from police. Philip Peltier was finally found around 8 o'clock last night in a backyard in the 3200 block of 37th Avenue South. Police had to set up a perimeter in the neighborhood. He allegedly took off after he stole items from Fleet Farm. He was arrested for theft, refusing to halt, plus 2 unrelated warrants. Fargo police are warning the community about a high-risk sex offender living near NDSU. 22-year-old Kilo Bowen Davis is living at 726 College Street North. He was convicted in 2018 for sexual imposition. Court records show he forced a young woman to perform sexual acts on him. He is considered likely to reoffend. Cleanup is underway after a car smashed into a building in North Fargo. It happened just after midnight at Sanford Occupational Health in the 3800 block of 12th Avenue North. It appears the driver experienced a medical issue causing him to crash into the building. He is cooperating with police. No one was hurt. Heading into Labor Day weekend, air travel is down about 70% compared to last year. While the pandemic is keeping some travelers from flying, those who are taking to the skies are seeing new touchless technology rolling out across the country. Chris Van Cleve takes a look.
Before her flight from Chicago to Fort Myers, Abby Weber is checking a bag in a new way. One Spirit hopes is a game changer that speeds up the process by 30% while reducing touch points and encouraging distance during the pandemic.
I think it's cool. I think it helps not having to talk to an agent.
It works by using technology instead of people to verify a traveler's identity when checking bags.
There we go. I think it could expedite checking bags and getting to your gate on time.
The first in the nation kiosks are now operating at O'Hare and New York's LaGuardia Airport. They validate your ID and use biometrics to compare that picture with one taken on the spot.
What happens to those pictures after I am finished?
It will go through the recognition here. It will do the validation and the match here, and then it will evaporate.
At O'Hare alone, the optional system could eliminate 600 daily interactions between flyers and employees.
Comfort is important to people, and that changes as a result of the coronavirus. And so less interaction can be valued more.
79% of business flyers and nearly 3/4 of leisure travelers say it's important airlines and airports maximize the use of touchless, contactless technology. Travel analyst Henry Hartevelt.
If they can check out of a store or supermarket using touchless technology, they want that at the airport and on the airplane.
ID right in there, please.
At Washington's Reagan National, the TSA began testing similar technology at a checkpoint this week. The passenger puts their ID in the scanner. That photo is compared to one taken by this camera. The TSA officer monitoring the process stays behind plexiglass. And LAX is the first in the U.S. to try check-in kiosks where you can use your smartphone as a mouse so you never have to touch the screen. Chris Van Cleve, CBS News, Chicago.
Passengers at the International Terminal at LAX can use the kiosk to check in for flights on nearly 24 airlines. Let's take a look at the COVID-19 numbers. In Minnesota, the Department of Health is reporting 856 confirmed cases along with 10 new deaths. In total, more than 1,800 deaths have been attributed to the disease. More than 70,000 people are listed as recovered. In North Dakota, there are 343 new cases in the state, bringing the active case count to more than 2,500. The death toll remains at 150. As leaders at NDSU are asking students to stick around this weekend, they're releasing a list of things to do in the area while following CDC guidelines. At Lindenwood Park, they recommend taking a kayak or bike ride. Both of those can be rented and managed by one person. You can hike more than 2 miles at Buffalo River State Park, and you can never go wrong with a picnic at Island Park. Along the way in Fargo and Moorhead, there are several murals to check out. They're stressing that if students do decide to be around others, please wear a face mask and stick with a small group. Hundreds of healthcare workers got a sweet surprise today. U.S. Bank teamed up with Scoop and Dough to say thank you to the staff at Essentia. They stopped by Essentia's 32nd Avenue campus as staff clocked in this morning, giving them tickets they could redeem for chocolate chip cookie dough cups. They ended up serving more than 450 of them, with many workers coming out between shifts or on breaks to enjoy the sweet treats.
There's a lot going on in the hospital all the time, and so their days are very full. And so
We really appreciate anything we can do to just give them a little break from their routine.
Everyone was just excited once they got their ticket this morning that they knew they were going to get a treat at lunch.
Those involved tell us the act was simply a way to say thank you to those making such a big difference during this time. Well, still ahead tonight, we take you to Lebanon, where rescue crews believe they may have discovered a survivor 1 month after an explosion killed nearly 200 people. Plus, Nathan's back with your full forecast and to tell us when we could be seeing frost in the 7-day.
Yeah, and out this evening, clear skies expected for us. Temperatures cooling into the 50s for us this Friday evening, so a light jacket may be necessary tonight. In Grand Forks, cool temperatures there as well. But of course, we'll break that weekend down in detail next.